Hello, Subliminal. Finally back to your whole house. Good. Good for you. I have to practice again meditation. Yes, for sure. After 10 years, I still meditate at least once a day. But today, my topic is the one universal truth in three teachings: Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism. Because this is kind of rehearsal for my teaching on Saturday. I'm gonna have 2 hours of teaching on this topic, um, Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism, and its relationship with social workers, or social work. Anyway, it's a rehearsal for me, but it's connected, has a very close relationship with meditation. So I give you just a brief outlines of pictures here. Why I say three teachings of like Buddhism, Taoism, Confucianism, actually they're talking about one thing, one ultimate truth, but in different language, symbols, terminologies. Of course, they have different focus points too. For example, so I will start from my slides. Anyway, I just read it for you. So my this the second topic related to these three teachings is the hidden harmony, order, and wisdom in the apparent chaos, disorder, and suffering. So, harmony and chaos is a pair, order, disorder is a pair, wisdom and suffering is a pair. So now you know, now the world is in chaos, is chaotic, is in disorder, is in suffering. But underneath all this superficial level of the view, there's hidden harmony, order, and wisdom. So Taoism, the key word of Taoism is harmony. The key word of Confucianism is order. The key word of Buddhism is wisdom. So harmony, order, wisdom. If you can see all these three in the apparent chaos, disorder, and the suffering, you are wise person, you are enlightened being. You are free from all the situations, no matter it's a family level, personal level, social level, even national level. You see? Okay, why I'm saying so? Why? For example, Buddha teaches emptiness. So emptiness, I have talked about this emptiness a lot of times. Emptiness is not violation of existence. It's not denial of the existence. It's an insight to the phenomenal world, physical world, emotional world, mental world. So emptiness says that nothing has an inherent self that is independent from every other thing. Or in other words, everything is depending on every other thing. The whole world is a dynamic, co-arising, co-interpenetrating, co-interbeing, or let's say interbeing and interdepending dynamic flow of body and mind, of information, energy, and matter. The whole thing is is moving, evolving, dancing. And the we, our body mind, is part of this. That's actually emptiness is pointing to. So once you understand the emptiness, you will understand the origin of suffering. If you attach to something that is always changing, that has no self, you suffer. You see, emptiness pointing out the origin of suffering. If you identify you are the body mind, then you suffer because the body will die. The mind is a constant activities, mental activities. You know, it comes and goes. It changes. The mind, your mind of yesterday, your mind of 10 years ago, and your mind now is different or different. They're changing, like the flow, like the of the rivers, running water in the river. No one can step into the same river twice. In the same way, no one can enter the same mind twice because your mind is always flowing like the water of the river. Make sense now? So, and everything like social, family, individuals, your job, your relatives or family member, your friends, your colleagues are interdepending, interpenetrating each other. Do you follow? That's the true meaning of emptiness. So, if you have this insight of emptiness, that means you can be free from suffering, from attachment, from the resistance. That's the wisdom. The key word of Buddhism is the wisdom. I will back to this wisdom again. Now I'm talking, I will change to Taoism. Okay, Taoism, Lao Tzu, the author of Tao Te Ching, around 500 BCE, like 2,000 years ago. Yeah, around 2,500 years ago. Actually, Lao Tzu and Shakyamuni Buddha and Confucius were born at almost same age. I mean, time of the civilization, all around 500 BCE or 2,500 years ago. These three greatest religions. I mean, we do have other religions, but we are talking about these three now, right? They are all born at around 2,500 years ago. Is this a coincidence? Anyway, back to Taoism. One of the main ideas of Taoism is the belief or realization, let's say, in balancing forces. So if you look at the yin and yang symbol, maybe I give you a yin yang symbol. Do you know the yin yang symbol? The black fish and the white fish. Maybe we'll just show you yin yang symbol. Let's give you a kind of example. Have like a visual, right? I have the visuals that, oh shoot, it's too big. Anyway, I cannot paste. You can just Google yin yang symbol. So the yin yang symbol, if you look at yin yang symbol, what do you notice or what you can learn from this symbol? Black and white. So the black is receptive, the white is active. Two balancing forces. These ideas represent matching pairs like light and dark, hot and cold, action and inaction, non-action, like sun and moon, male and female. All these uh, pairs. If we go further, we do have like asleep, awake, uh, quiet, loud. Mm. Anyway, that's the duality of the world. Taoism is focused the interdepending, interconnecting, mutual penetrating or influencing forces. No day, no night. No hot, no cold, no hot. Hot cannot exist only without cold. Do you follow? So it's depending forces. It's mutually penetrating forces, influencing forces. That's the Taoist focus, actually. So, and the key word of Taoism is harmony. Harmony between these two seemingly, different or polarized forces. Actually, if you look at the symbol of the yin yang again, you have the black and white, but right between this black and white, there's a S line. That's a beautiful balance between black and white. The S line is a dancing force. Like these two forces can be harmonious with each other. You see, balancing, harmony, like between human and being. We are human being, but most time you don't know your being part. So you always know your human part. So you have this disharmony because you have no other balancing force. So meditation is awaken or to realize your being part. So you can have balance between human and being, or silence and vibration. In the meditation, you can become silent and you realize the surrounding sounds or voices or noises. So you try to have that balance between silence and the vibrations or energy, let's say. And also, once you meditate, you become still. In the stillness, you notice the motions or activities or movements. So you try to find that balance or harmony between the stillness and motions, activities. Do you follow? If you really find this harmony in your everyday life, I mean, the harmony between stillness and motion, or activity and non-activity, silence and the vibrations, human and being, peace and war, justice and injustice, action and non-action. All this is a pair of forces or dualities. So we have to find this balance of harmony, and that's what the focus point of Taoism. So we talk about Buddhism and Taoism. Let's go to the Confucianism. The key word for Confucianism is order. If Confucius again is around 571 BCE, very close to I mean, this Shakyamuni Buddha, Lao Tzu, and Confucius were born in the same time, almost same time, 2,500 years ago. And Confucius, the key word of Confucius is order. So the main concepts of Confucianism include 仁, so 仁义礼智信, or we call 仁 humaneness, 义 righteousness, 礼 etiquette, zhong loyalty, and xiao filial piety. So it describes the order, this keyword, into different humaneness, righteous, propriety or etiquette, loyalty, and the filial piety. Filial piety is very, very special term in Chinese culture. So basically means you respect your parents or senior people. As a child, as a son or daughter, you respect your parents or senior people. And on the other hand, the senior people look after the young daughters or sons or, youngsters, young people. You see, that's a balance, that's an order. As a child, you respect your parents. As a parent, you take care of the child. That's a filial piety, which is very special in Chinese culture. Xiao, we say. So this is one of the principles of the Confucianism, right? So we have other four, total five. So other four is humanness, righteousness, etiquette, and the loyalty. Especially in the ancient time, if you are the king or the governor, you take care of your people. And as people or the citizens, you respect or follow the order of governor. So you see, this is illustrated through the five main relationships. For example, ruler, subjects, father, son, husband and wife, elderly brother and younger brother, and friend. You see, Confucianism tried to put order into all kinds of different relationships, especially these five: ruler, subject. That's why Confucianism become a major religion or practice even in the old times, like Qing dynasty, Han dynasty, especially Han dynasty, which is 200 BCE to 200 AD, 400 years of Han dynasty. So because the Confucianism stress on the relationship ruler and subject. As a ruler or governor, you need to be kind to your people. And as a subject of the ruler, you need to respect the ruler or follow the law. This concept, ideology, meets that time, 2,000 years ago, very well. So that's one of the reasons why Confucianism become so popular in the government, because the king or the ruler like this idea, ruler, subject, father, son. So if it's a family, you focus, the father should take care of the son, and son should respect the father. That's the order. Husband and wife, elderly brother, younger brother, friend and friend. In these bonds, the latter must pay respect to serve the former. So sons should respect the father, subject should respect the ruler, wife should respect husband, younger should respect older. And on the other hand, husband should care for the wife, ruler should care for the subject, elder should take care of the younger. You see, very logic actually. This is deeply rooted in Chinese culture. That's why, because Confucianism is very deeply rooted in our familiar level, culture. And you see, even nowadays in Canada, in in Chinese community, we have a tradition that we live together. 3 generations live together. For example, my mom visited me 3 years ago. We take care of each other, and she take care of the kids. Anyway, in Western culture, 3 generation live together is not a tradition, but in our Chinese culture, it is. Why? Because we are influenced by this Confucianism, you know. But there's a one, I talk about this great learning, 大学. Confucianism, if you look at all the teachings of Confucianism, there's 4 books and 5 classics. 4 books and 5 classics, uh, like a textbook of a Confucianism. So one of it is the great learning, 大学. In the 大学, I just read one of the most important sentence here. So the way of great learning consists in manifesting one's bright virtue. Virtue consists in loving the people, consists in stopping in the perfect goodness or excellence. You see, this one is really matching the Buddha's teaching, the perfect excellence. 至善. What is perfect goodness or excellence? Only when you understand the emptiness. Only when you are in the Tao. Only when you are in a perfect harmony between dualities. That's a perfect goodness. A perfect goodness is beyond good or bad. You see? So all these 3 teachings are pointing to one ultimate truth, oneness, one unconditional love, one universal cosmic intelligence. Once you reach this understanding, you will love people naturally, without any effort, because you reach your perfect goodness. Just like Mother Teresa, she will love everyone. She loved everyone. In her eyes, there's no good or bad. Anyone who is in need, she will help. No matter you're poor or rich, black or white. She can manifest her bright virtue. You see, that's the sentence from Great Learning, one of the 4 books of the Confucianism. You see, all the different teachings, Confucianism and Taoism, focuses on harmony. Harmony between poor and rich, between, black and white, between all the seemingly different pairs or dualistic or dualities. They are all pointing to an ultimate realization that we are one. There's only one ultimate truth, Brahman. or God or Heavenly Father or Universal Mother. We have so many different terms to pointing that ultimate truth. And we are all the child of Heavenly Father or Universal Mother, or the activities of the body mind is the manifestation of cosmic intelligence. So that's the oneness, non-duality we have to realize. Traditionally, we call this awakening or enlightenment. So basically, this is a rehearsal for my teaching on Tuesday, 2 days later. 2 days later, and I do find a connection between these topics, three teachings. Uh, the three teachings of the Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism, they are all pointing to the same ultimate truth. If I use everyday life's words, it's like unconditional love or pure awareness or cosmic intelligence. Or in physics, we use this quantum fluctuation, which give rise to all the intelligence, matter and energy, and all the intelligence, matter and energy falls into or disappear or resolve into this field of quantum fluctuation, in a field of infinity, infinite potentials. So the audience I will address to is the students, indigenous students. So social workers, who will be the social, whose major was social work, and I think there will be a social worker, become a social workers in Canada in the future years, right? So I do find, let's show you the picture here. What is the social work and purpose? Think, social skill. I try to give a visual contact here. So maybe I just read it for you. So for the social worker or social work objectives, they are that kind of like a solution to psychosocial problems. But actually, that's what I'm doing now. I mean, I'm a practitioner of Chinese medicine. I'm an acupuncturist and herbalist. I find a lot of physical pain or mental disorder is deeply associated with the social or familial problems, psychosocial problems will influence our mind and body deeply, actually. So that's one of the objectives of the social workers. The others are like provide social legal aid, um, social justice and democratic functioning, enhance self-esteem. That's very important. If you're depressed, your self-esteem may be very low. If you have negative trauma in your childhood, your esteem may be very low. You have that, you are not worthy of any love or whatever. That's one of biggest issue or objectives that social works will work for. And the list that goes on, like a working people self-sufficient, strengthen harmonious social relation. You see, harmonious. Imagine if you are not harmonious with yourself, your body, mind, spirit is not in sync. how can you help others to be harmonious? It's like a doctor is very sick. Now he's trying to heal or cure his patients. Does not make sense, right? So you see, I've the link between these three teachings, Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism, and these social worker objectives is actually you have to balance yourself. You have to we have to harmonize ourselves first. We have a total picture of understanding first, like who am I, why I'm here, what's my role. Once you can understand this, then you can root yourself in the silence, stillness, or unconditional love. Only from there you won't be, how to say, agitated while you try to help others. Because for social workers, they are dealing with a lot of problems, divorces or family injustice or violence, even social violence, injustice, like the Second World War post-trauma, right? So, for example, I'm Chinese. Japanese invaded China like 70 years ago now. Still, especially in Nanjing, where in the Second World War, Japanese killed at least 200,000 Nanjing people in 3 months. That's called Nanjing Massacre, right? You can Google it. This trauma still has bad negative impact on the Nanjing people. Their grandfather was killed, their grandmother was, raped. Like that is it's really sad. I mean, brutal actions there. So, this kind of trauma is actually not only between China or Japan. If you look about the whole European civilization for the past 1,000 years, only Europe in the past 1,000 years, there's 5,000 wars or conflicts, big or small. 5,000 conflicts or wars in the past 1,000 years in Europe only. Imagine that. How many wars between French, British, Spain and Portugal, you name it. If you Google, it's terrible. The whole civilization is a kind of process of disorder and order, peace and war. You see, if you have this total understanding, suffering and non-suffering or wisdom, actually there is some goodness or benefits of the suffering, no matter it's a personal level, it's a social level, or it's a national level. Why? Actually, I found some same words in the Thich Nhat Hanh, in the book of by Thich Nhat Hanh, in the book of the Art of Living. So just give me 1 sec. I think this page. Just give me 1 sec here. I have to find the exact word, right? Okay, this is it. The goodness of suffering. The goodness of suffering. How? Doesn't make sense. Okay, let me read this. It's very tempting to want to stay strong and healthy and never suffer any pain or illness. Many of us hope we will never have to encounter serious difficulties or challenges in our life. But my own experience. Thich Nhat Hanh went through the Vietnam War, which divide the Vietnam into southern and northern, right? Northern and southern, and his mom died in this conflict or Vietnam War. He became depressed for many years. Even as a monk, you may have depression. Same, let alone our world person, right? Anyway, so, but my own experience is that uh, had I not encountered great difficulties and suffering, I would never have had a chance to grow on my spiritual path. I would never have had the chance to heal, transform, and touch such profound peace, joy, and freedom. If we don't experience suffering, how can we ever generate understanding and compassion? Compassion is born from understanding suffering, from experiencing suffering, I will add. Without understanding and compassion, we cannot be a happy person. You see, the co-interpenetrating forces, happiness and suffering. The more you understand suffering, the more you understand happiness. Make sense? We need contrast. Our sharpness of the mind understands in the comparison. Once you understand dark, you will understand light. Once you understand uh, hatred, you understand love. Make sense? You see the Taoism. But the key is we have to find balance or harmony in this seemingly apparently different two forces or identities. I will continue. I care very deeply for my students, but I would never want to send them to heaven or any place when there was no suffering. This is very good one, actually. If you don't suffer, you won't cherish your happiness. You have no true understanding. So no matter what you're suffering now, physical pain, or emotional disorder, or anxiety, or depression, look at the lesson you can learn from any experience you are suffering now. You will rise from all the obstacles and difficulties. You will transcend all these dualities. So even Thich Nhat Hanh would never send his students to heaven where there's no suffering. We cannot create happiness in a place where there's no suffering. You see, no suffering, no happiness. That's a wisdom, you see. We have to be wise. The wisdom is the teaching from Buddhism, actually from Taoism, from Confucianism. They're all pointing to this order, or as in the Confucianism, and harmony in the Taoism, right? So just as we cannot grow lotus without mud, in Buddhism we have this, try to be a lotus flower that can grow from the mud. No mud, no lotus flower. Do you follow? No suffering, no happiness. No affliction, no desire to say goodbye to affliction. You see that? If there was no mud, how could a lotus grow? Lotus cannot grow on marble. That's a joke. I mean, and anyway, it's the sentences from The Art of Living by Thich Nhat Hanh, page 180. Let's just kind of example from Thich Nhat Hanh, the Zen master. Yeah, actually, social workers, you have to define what is social. Everyone is social. How can you live without other people? We are in the family. We are right in the relationship with the kids, with your parents, your friends, your partner. We are in the social. We are in the relationships. How to find your balance and harmony? How to treat, as a social worker, you have to, let's say, the objectives, the solution to psychosocial problems. If you yourself have psychosocial problems, your ability to treat others with psychosocial problems will greatly limited. Do you follow? If we are agitated, if we are out of balance in terms of love, harmony, how do you love others? If you are if the second here is the enhanced self-esteem. If we feel low or depressed or unworthy of anything or love, or how do you help others to enhance their self-esteem? No sense at all. If we are not harmonious with our family, friends, colleagues, partners, family members, how can you strengthen harmonious social relation for others, to help others? I mean, we're talking about social workers objectives, right? As social workers, actually, if you brought this social works, the meaning of this social work, I'm a social worker too. In the clinic, I treat people with insomnia due to the stress of life, due to their family problems, psychosocial problems, you see, psycho-family problems, psycho-environment problems, psycho-history problems. You can use this concept to any problems, actually. No individual can totally independent from the environments, from the history, from the culture, from the society. Make sense? So the problem is not outside there. It's always how can you purify your mind? Do you have the wise eyes or wisdoms to look at the problems, the seemingly problems? If you are wise, you have the wisdom to deal with it. If you are still, you have the power to deal with chaotic external surroundings or situations. If you are justified or centered or uprighted in your heart, you can give your service to the situation of people who suffer from injustice. Because every day as a social worker, you will listen to different problematic stories, injustice, like from colonization. The whole North America history is colonized, by British, by Spanish, by French. So the whole history, especially 300 years around, are colonizations. Now in the indigenous culture, there was a decolonization movement. The real root or decolonization is from our mind. Disidentify with all the sufferings. Disidentify that I am Chinese. If I identify I'm Chinese, definitely I have a genetic trauma from my mom, my grandmom, who suffered from Japanese invasion like 70 years ago. Make sense? So the emptiness, the harmony, the order is the inside, from starting from our own mind. All the problems, if we try to solve all kinds of problems, individual, familial level, or social level, or collective level, national level even, we have to deal with ourselves first, the inner environment first. That's why Buddha's teaching or Lao Tzu's teaching or Confucius' teaching is so important. They are pointing to the same ultimate goal: to be free from suffering, to the ultimate freedom, to the wisdom that you have better understanding, a wise understanding of what's going on outside, inside, you know, the history, the whole humanity, the family level, the personal level, and so on. So all wisdoms, liberations, freedoms, starting from your true understanding. Okay, that's a rehearsal or practice. I think it's a good one. I'm trying to talk about the find harmony, find wisdom, find order in the seemingly or apparently chaotic, disharmonized, or suffering world. We cannot change external world. What happening is happening. What has happened. We cannot change that. But we can change how we look at it, how you react to it or respond to it, how you understand it is all in our hands. So, and Buddha's teaching, Confucius' teaching, Lao's teaching, all pointing to this: your view to the outer world or your inner world. What's your state of inner world is very important for you to understand the state of outer world. If you are still, the whole world is still outside for you. If you're chaotic here, the world is chaotic for you. If you're silent here, the whole world is silent. If it's very noisy in your own mind, the whole world seems very noisy for you. If you're very harmonious here in your inner environment, the whole world will manifest as harmonious world to you. If you're chaotic here, your external world is chaotic. The whole world is our projection. How many worlds right now at this moment? 8 billion different worlds. But there's only one planet Earth. Because from this field of awareness, pure awareness, arise so many different, 8 billion different perceptions. Do you follow? It's just give you example. In winter, slowing time, There's a snow on the ground. There's two people or three people standing with sunglasses looking at the white snow. One is orange, one is green, one is red. So if you put the glasses on your nose with orange glasses, the white snow is manifesting as orange to you and green and to red to the different glasses who has different glasses, right? The same way is here. What kind of individual perception or glasses you're wearing, the world will manifest as the way you're looking from. The whole world is a projection right now. 8 billion different worlds on one planet Earth. If you don't have wisdom, if you don't have clarity, the whole world you're looking at will decept you, will fool you. You're fooled by your projection. That's how awakening is so important. You can see through your projections now if you are awakened. And you are not fooled by the deception of your projection or perception, let's say, or your mind. The whole point of awakening is zoom out to see the totality, to see the limitations of your projection and be free from it. That's the ultimate freedom. That's the ultimate liberation or decolonization. It's crazy. That's the remedy for any problem, because you reach the source of your life. You reach the origin of everything, meaning the origin of suffering, the origin of happiness, the origin of love, the origin of hatred, the origin of anything, your feelings, emotions. If we can reach the origin, the starting point of anything, and you can fix it, let's say fix it or harmonize it from the core or the origin of everything, then you're fixing the every other thing at the core level. That's the wisdom. That's the wisdom. That's the insight. That's all the three teachings: Buddhism, Taoism, Confucianism are trying to help us to realize order, harmony, wisdom. In the chaotic world, there is a hidden order. If you look at the wars between Israel and Palestine, and in the wars, right? Russian and Ukraine. Underneath all the war, there's a peace. There's a trend of peace. I really want to understand this. No suffering, no happiness. Thich Nhat Hanh said this. You cannot understand happiness or maintain happiness without suffering. With co-penetrating, co-influencing forces. That's the Taoism, right? The Yin Yang symbol. Okay, I think that's all for today. Thank you. It's good rehearsal. Beautiful. Thank you.